That's fire. What is good, Vibe Gang? Last video of the night. Shout out to Terry. Terry wanted me to do the musical story of Eva Cassidy. Nightline profile 2001. And I can't wait to get into this. So thank you for your patience, Terry. I appreciate you for real, for real. If you guys don't know, I have an Eva Cassidy playlist up here. It should be popping up here throughout the video. Go ahead, see all the rest of the Eva Cassidy that I've done. And if there's one that you guys want me to do, request it down below. And I'll get to it as soon as I can. And if you don't know who Eva Cassidy is, her link, name, all her bio, everything that you need to know about her channel and everything is going to be down below as well. So feel free to go subscribe to the artist because she deserved every single one of us to be listening to her. Her music was one of the best. One of the best. Listen to it if you don't believe me. But this is going to be the musical story of Eva Cassidy. I can't wait. Federico, cut the beat. Nightline. I never thought I was going to say this. It is on you. Let's go.
Think of Judy Garland's Over the Rainbow. The Recording Industry Association named it the #1 song of the 20th century. Since Judy Garland first sang it in The Wizard of Oz, the Oscar-winning classic has been
somewhere over the rain. I can't sing.
Since Judy Garland first sang it in The Wizard of Oz, the Oscar-winning classic has been identified with her and her alone. Until now. For the last year or so, radio stations in England have played another version of the song. This spring, the album hit #1 on the British pop charts. Awesome. The artist is an American singer who died in obscurity nearly 5 years ago. She performed at small clubs and sold tapes of her music from the trunk of her car.
Wow.
Her name is Eva Cassidy. She was painfully shy, not at all glamorous, and much to the frustration of record company executives.
I don't like the way he said that. I don't like the way he said that. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be a long video, so get your popcorns ready, because we're going to have a conversation. I don't like the way he did that. All right, she didn't have all the pizzazz and everything. She was a beautiful woman. I just don't like the way the tone that he used.
Not at all glamorous, and much to the frustration of record company executives, impossible to pigeonhole. Pop tunes, blues, jazz, gospel, she sang whatever moved her. In an era of brightly packaged stars, think Britney Spears, Eva Cassidy was the polar opposite. Indeed, she never knew fame. That is coming only now, years after she died in the prime of her life. And her version of Over the Rainbow, see if it doesn't give you goosebumps. Absolutely. For my colleague Dave Marish, Nightline's resident jazz and blues enthusiast, putting together the Eva Cassidy story has been a labor of love.
I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Eva Cassidy left this world in November 1996, leaving behind a small group of fans in the Washington, D.C. area and 2 locally produced CDs.
And they'll learn much more.
Beyond those narrow boundaries, though, when the singer died at the age of 33, her name was all but unknown, her music all but unheard.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
Eva and I met in 7th grade. We were seated next to each other, luckily.
'Cause there's no hiding place from
Ever since I could remember her, she loved jazz and blues.
people get ready. There's a train a-coming.
Jazz, blues, folk, rock, and gospel were all major sources of Eva Cassidy's repertoire. But so were classic
It's so sad that so young, 33 years old is a baby still. It's so young, and her voice could have done so many different things in this world. And for it to be taken so early, it's a shame, but that's why we're here, to keep her name alive and try to keep her name alive, to put her music towards a lot of other people so everybody could get this gift. This is a gift. When you find, I like to call these little jewels in the music world. These are little jewels that you didn't know that existed, and then when it was brought to your attention, you instantly fell in love with. That's the type of music she was putting out. She was putting so much good music out. And I can't wait to get done with the rest of her catalog. Like, I want to do every single one of her songs. That's a fact.
But so were classic laments and ballads from American popular music. One song above all.
Somewhere over the rainbow way,
Oh my God.
the pine.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow just was one of our favorites. When I say our, I mean her groupies that always followed her wherever she went.
That's where you'll find me.
She would nail those notes. She
my
sang it
God.
so beautifully. There were always tears in the eyes of the audience.
The rainbow.
So it was to be, almost 2 years after her death. In a country an ocean away from her home, that Over the Rainbow moved Eva Cassidy from obscurity to the spotlight.
A friend of mine brought the record to me in the office.
Paul Walters is a producer for a popular morning show on the BBC's
I know the
Radio
BBC.
2.
I know the
Oh,
BBC.
fine, okay, put it in the pile. I'll get to it later. And he said, no, I'd like you to listen to it now. So I had a listen to it, and I was absolutely stunned. Suddenly there was a song that had a voice that stood out a million miles above all the rest. Stopped me in my tracks. I thought, I've got to play this. We've got to have this in the programme.
It's the wonderful Eva Cassidy, and Paulie Walters gets a great deal of the credit for discovering her enormous talent. And
Terry Wogan is Radio 2's morning star. He played Eva Cassidy's recording of Over the Rainbow unheard on Paul Walters' Say So.
now he's interfering with hospital food.
But he said, okay, fine, we'll have that next. And we put it on. And he was absolutely amazed as well, stunned. And at the end of the record, to our audience of very nearly 7 million people every day, he said, isn't that just the most amazing thing you've ever heard?
Facts.
If happy little bluebirds fly.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I got goosebumps right now. I absolutely, look at the goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen. They're real and they exist. Oh my, look at how that works. That across the pond, her music got all the way over there. And it became #1 in the UK. The US is slipping. The US is slipping. I'm sorry. They are.
He said, isn't that just the most amazing thing you've ever heard?
If happy little bluebirds fly above the rainbow. Oh, I can't.
The first time I heard Eva Cassidy was,
Amazing.
like a lot of people in this country, I think, through the Terry Wogan show on Radio 2.
The best in pop and rock from the last...
Mark Hagan produces BBC Television's weekly music show, Top of the Pops 2.
Heard the record, loved it, got the record. I thought this would be a fabulous person to show on television.
Unfortunately, Hagan thought there is no videotape of Eva. Until almost 2 years later, he found and broadcast this homemade video of Eva singing Over the Rainbow at Washington's Blues Alley.
We put it on the programme on the 13th of December, I think it was, in 2000. And as soon as the programme came off air, the switchboard was jumping. And this went on and on and on.
Wow.
6 weeks later, I was still getting calls. I thought, well, perhaps I should show it again.
I wish upon a star.
So I put it on Top of the Pops 2 again. The same reaction again, but even more so. And that's still going on today.
Like, I mean, like, come on. Like, you have to, that's a given. Like, she took that song and she went absolutely mad with that song. She made it her own song. Like, every time I listen to every time I watch The Wizard of Oz and I hear her sing it, it's good. Eva Cassidy's different. It's a different type of feel, bro. If you guys, I did the reaction to it. The link is on that reaction. So you can go to that reaction, go to the link, and you just hit like real quick. Just hit like real quick. And then hit the link. and then go watch the full thing by yourself and just listen to the whole song from beginning to end. Oh my God. Oh my God, you don't even know.
The same reaction again, but even more so. And that's still going on today.
This spring, Eva Cassidy's CD Songbird with Over the Rainbow on it was the #1 selling popular album in the United Kingdom. For several weeks, Eva had as many as 5 CDs listed in the British Top 150 for pop albums, an achievement of Beatles or Rolling Stones proportions.
Absolutely.
As her rediscovery has bounced back to the American side of the Atlantic, CD sales here have taken off. Songbird has passed 200,000, and Eva's total U.S. CD sales are close to 500,000.
She was afraid then what fame would do to her. She was really kind of afraid of it. And I have to kind of laugh because this is the way I think Eva would have loved it. Everybody else does the talking for her. All she does is sing.
Cooking with the big gas flame. Hey!
Thank you, Marion.
It's true.
Eva was afraid to get on stage, and she knew she needed to improve her ability, her shyness, her assertiveness, her stage presence, and she knew she needed to do some solo gigs.
There's a train coming.
Eva was soon singing regularly in small clubs, thinking about recording, which is what took her to the studio run by Chris Biondo. And even there, Eva was at first mic shy.
She wouldn't come in, and she just kind of stood in the shadows, and I thought there was something wrong with her, that she wasn't, you know, a singer, just somebody was coming by to, you know, try to sing. And she went in and just blew me away right away. Everything she sang from the minute I turned on the mic to when she left was amazing.
See? Can't judge a book by its cover. She's shy. She doesn't want the fame. She doesn't want it. She just wants to sing. That's purity and you know, losing a person that is that pure and that you know human. And she was afraid to get famous because she's afraid of what it was going to do to her, and she didn't want that. She wanted to be herself, and it's just the purity and the love for the music itself alone is why I fell in love with her. Her voice is amazing. Amazing.
To when she left was amazing.
Also left amazed when Chris played Eva's tape was Chuck Brown, a DC legend in go-go and soul music.
I hear this beautiful, mellow voice coming out of this tape. Just took me right out from the very beginning.
Soon, Chuck and Eva were collaborating, and Chuck says this young white girl was not only inspiring him, but teaching him to sing jazz.
Wow. Wow. For him to say that? Wow. And it's good. Come on, her jazz is amazing. Come on, man. You guys gotta give it up for the give it up. She was one of the best singers in the world. Her music needs to be pushed all over this place. I don't care how many records she sold. I need everybody to listen to her. It's different. Her voice is different.
To sing jazz.
We talked and made arrangements to start doing something. We picked a few tunes. She was very, very stylistic in her own way and very precise on her tone and her melody. Very melodic, the way she strays away from the melody, comes back to it, and all of this just fascinated me, you know. Of course, I never tried to do none of that.
Shy Eva loved singing with Chuck. She could hide behind his showmanship on stage and ride behind his reputation to bigger and better bookings, like Washington's venerated jazz club, Blues Alley.
Let's give a big Blues Alley welcome to Miss Eva Cassidy.
The club has been here almost 40 years, and we've been blessed with hearing almost all the great names in jazz, the singers, over the years. A lot of the staff has been here a long time, so they're not easily swayed.
Heaven, I'm in heaven.
The first night, first song, when she started singing, I noticed the staff all stopping in their tracks and looking at the stage and looking at one another. And we both, all of us thought at that time, wow, this is something.
When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, heaven.
With Eva now on the pop charts in the UK and popping up in People and other major magazines and on network TV in the States, Ralph Camilli remembers the girl with no stage patter, no stage presence, who dressed like she was going for a hike.
I'm sure if she were alive and having this notoriety now, we'd be joking right here at this table about how she would be driving the execs crazy about, move a little more, Eva. Why don't you wear this, Eva? I mean, she wasn't that way and wouldn't have been that way. And I don't know that they would have known what to make of her.
I would have loved her. And that's the thing. That's the type of artist I personally look for. I personally look for that artist that is going to be so unique to me and so real to me. And of course, they have to be good. I mean, that's a given. But if I would have met her, I think I would have been a fangirl of her, and I would have probably driven to go and see her live. If I would have known where she was at, I would have done it because it's just I need to hear. That's something that I need to hear live. Like that's something that I would have loved to be sitting right there with a cognac and a cigar as she did her thing, her jazz and stuff. Man, oh man.
That way, and I don't know that they would have known what to make of her.
Among the fields of barley, you can tell the sun in his jealous sky. When we walked in fields of gold.
As I say, you listen to the music, you look at the pictures, you get the feeling of just, lighter than air and more delicate than chiffon, not the complete picture.
Just the opposite. She was tough, very tough. Tough in her mind and tough in her body. She worked for years at a nursery and was extraordinarily strong.
Will you stay with me?
Eva applied all that toughness and all that stubbornness when it came to selecting her song list, says her pianist, Lenny Williams.
I know she had to emotionally connect with the lyrics to sing the song. That was a prerequisite. I mean, she had to like it musically, but a lot of times the message of the song, the lyrics, was the make or break thing. You know, if she didn't really connect with it, she wasn't going to do it.
That Eva enjoyed and insisted on singing jazz and pop, folk, and gospel.
See, and that's a good thing, because that, like that, you could use that music, that song that you're going to cover, or whatever you're going to do with it, and you could use it as a stress reliever. So let's say you're singing a song about heartbreak, and you got your heart broken, and you listen to somebody sing a song about heartbreak. You could use that pain towards that song. So being selective of what you do, you know what you could do, you know what you can't do. You know what you're comfortable, and you know what makes you uncomfortable. So for an artist to be so aware of what they need in order for them to do their performances 100%, it says a lot about that person's character. Like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, and I want it this way in order for it to come out the way I envisioned it. You got to be a strong person to be that way or on a daily basis.
That Eva enjoyed and insisted on singing jazz and pop, folk, and gospel songs drove record companies crazy.
This guy, I can't even remember the record company he came from. He came down and sat there and watched her sing and looked at her and said, what do you want to do? And she looked at him and said, pretty much anything. He goes, well, what do you want to do? Tell me the kind of, the style you want to go for. And she goes, pretty much anything but that pop crap. But we never heard from him again.
That's what's up. She's saying, I'll do anything but that pop crap. Facts! Facts! Stay true to yourself. Know what you want.
But we never heard from him again.
One record company guy who kept coming back was Bruce Lundvall, the head of the top jazz label, Blue Note.
I got a call from a fellow, so he brought her to my office, but he didn't have anything to play, so she stood in the middle of the room and sang Amazing Grace. And it was just chilling.
Amazing was the right word.
Oh my Lord. And I said, oh my God, what a voice, what an extraordinary voice, And that was the beginning.
Lundvall tried pairing Eva with a Philadelphia band, Pieces of a Dream, but the music didn't work. So he asked Eva, what are the songs that work for you?
They were all over the place. There was a gospel piece, there was a country song, there was a standard, Over the Rainbow, etc. I said, well, the voice is just spectacular. I mean, but we're a jazz label. Had she been willing to make just a jazz record, we would have done it probably right away without question, but that wasn't her nature.
Blue Note decided not to offer Eva Cassidy a contract.
That I made a mistake, and a serious one, because she was a great, great talent.
Lundvall had little time to realize his error. In the spring of 1996, just months after her Blues Alley date had been turned into a CD, Eva started walking with a cane because of persistent pain in her hip. The cause was cancer. She was given just months to live. Bruce Lundvall heard the bad news and called.
Her mom let me speak to her. And I asked her to forgive me for not signing her. And I couldn't hold it. I couldn't contain myself. It was one of the most difficult moments I've ever had. And she said, no, it's okay. We were together.
Eva's friends threw a benefit for her at a club called the Bayou. Her parents, Barbara and Hugh, remember Eva rising to the occasion.
She saw all these people, and they had come out to see her, and she was just totally amazed that they would all show up. All of her good friends, and so many people donated their services and their talents.
And then the honoree moved to the microphone.
Well, she made her way up on stage, had some help getting up onto a stool, picked up her guitar, looked out at the people in the audience. The love was all love. Of course, everybody's crying. She announced that she had just taken a huge dose of morphine so she could handle this. It's the last time she sang in public.
And what did she sing?
I see trees that are green.
There she was performing and singing It's a Wonderful World, and there wasn't a dry eye in this place. It was just really incredible.
For me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
It was more than the medicine that got her up there. I mean, she was very high on getting up there and doing the tete-a-tete with the audience and singing that song.
But they're really saying, I love you.
6 weeks later, she was dead.
Trees.
So many of Eva Cassidy's favorite songs, Over the Rainbow, Bridge Over Troubled Water, People Get Ready, were about how it isn't over when it's over, that death doesn't always get the last word. It turns out that wasn't just her songs, it was her story.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world. I'm Dave Marish for Nightline in Washington.
What a wonderful
Wow. That was amazing. That was amazing. I love doing videos like this. And thank you, Terry, for the dono to do it. And I love doing videos like this because this is the research that I'm talking about on all the rest of my videos. This is what I'm talking about, like finding out who this person really was and what impact they made in the world and everything like that, so you can enjoy and appreciate their music a lot more. Terry, thank you so much for this dono. Please put the next Eva Cassidy down below. And I got you guys next week coming, and I'll start doing a little bit more Eva Cassidy. Just add the next one you guys want me to do. The one with the most likes gets the reaction. So I love you guys. Have a great night. This was amazing. I love this, and I'm gonna talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Last night you were dreaming, and I heard you say,
Oh, Johnny.
when you know my name is Ray, that's why I believe.